We're gonna do some bangs today. A lot of people have asked me, how do you cut your bangs? Where do you go do your bangs? What's your bangs called? So all of the questions are gonna be answered, and I will actually cut my bangs today. So the name of the bangs I think is side swept bang. This is more like a flowy type where it could just kind of like merge into like your hair and not look so like there. If you do not have bangs and you're just starting off, what you want to do is you will want to actually make some bangs before you trim your bangs. And if you already have your bangs and you're just at the trimming level, bear with me. First off, what you want to do is, if you do not have bangs, just pull all your hair like straight down, like me, and you would want to cut some of your hair that would become your potential bangs at like around like your nose area. And oh, by the way, sorry, you have to have the right tools. You cannot cut your bangs with this, or this. I mean, they all have purposes, and these scissors, their purposes were to cut paper or cut whatever's, and you really have to have shears, like professional like shears, where they were meant to cut hair. So get your shears. Like, this is an investment you need to do if you're going to keep on trimming your bangs at home. So I have two types. This is like the original one. You actually cut your hair. And then this is called the thinning scissors, where they actually kind of like, they thin out your hair and they don't actually cut it like bluntly. Alright, here it goes. Sorry, so just pull down all your hair. I know my roots are really disgusting. And what you want to do is you want your bangs to come from like far behind. Like, see my bangs? Like, they actually come from like way behind. The reason is, if you like to start your bangs where your hair actually starts, it's gonna look more or less like the 80s bang, and it's gonna look really tacky. So that's rule number one. Pull it out from behind. Pull your hair all from like behind. The second part is, you don't want your bangs like coming all the way up to like here, because if you like cut it like that, it's just gonna like be like, oh my god, like look at her bangs, it's so weird kind of bangs. So if you actually look at like how my bangs are, there's like a triangular shape, and like this is like actually like this is the end of my bangs. So like my bangs actually like end here, and these are all like side hair. So yeah, you don't want your bangs too wide, because unless you're like a model. Alright, if you don't have any bangs, you could like go ahead and like cut your bangs like straight, because it's gonna get shorter. Alright, so for those of you who have reached that step, what I usually do is I tie my hair back. Alright, and then you have to decide on which direction you want your bangs to be. It could either be this way or that way. I prefer this way because I don't know why. So just part your hair like where you want your bangs to be, and like usually I part my hair like this. Alright, so this is gonna be like my bangs. We're not gonna touch this part yet, just part your hair, and this is how your hair is gonna be parted. So now what you're gonna do is you want to know like exactly how long you want your bangs to be, and this part is going to be the shortest, and it's going to get longer as it goes like sideways, so it can merge into your hair. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, don't cut your hair when it's wet, because if it's wet it kind of stretches, and when you dry it up it's going to like bounce like up, and it's gonna be shorter than what you want it to be. So I never cut my hair when it's wet. So alright, so you grab your shears, and see this part, this is like gonna be the longer part, so we're not gonna touch it yet, and we're only gonna deal with this part. See, it's like a very, very small portion. And what you want to do is, like, after you cut it to like, my goal is for my hair to be like about this much, so I'm just gonna trim out this much. So what you do is you grab your hair and just like place it like where you want to trim it, and then like how do I say it? Like you really want to make it like more like a triangular way. Is that how you say it? Like you don't want to go like this with no order. What you actually want to do is like, see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then kind of like trim the bottom. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Still a little bit long, and see like how it's kind of blunt. So if you feel like it's blunt, all you have to do is you have to make it a little bit deeper, like 1 and 2 and 3, and then kind of like 1, 2. Alright, so I guess this is like an okay length for me, because yeah, this is like the length that I like. And if you like actually like go like this at the end, it's like what's gonna happen is it's gonna be really light right here and like all frizzy and fluffy, and it's just not gonna like stick to your face. It's gonna be like all over the place, and it's gonna look like a disaster. So after that, like all you want to do is kind of like trim the end, and like so it could like have like a more like doesn't look so straight. Put it against your face and try to cut it as you check yourself. So I kind of like it like this, and remember that like long piece that we left? Usually I don't like trim it that much, but like if you feel like it's too blunt, you could always like kind of like trim it off. Like I don't do that much trimming, and yeah, and I always like trim the end a little bit like into a shape I want, so that way it could kind of like have like its own shape. So yeah, like if you see like this part should be a little bit more like shorter since it's like the beginning, so I'm just gonna like trim it off like that. Alright, and if you like feel like your what's it called, your bangs are too heavy, what you could do is you could like get like the bottom layer, like right here, like see like I have like this is like the bottom layer. See the bottom layer right here? You kind of thin it out, but you wouldn't want to thin out the top layer because then it's gonna get all fluffy, and you don't want your bangs like all over the place. So if you feel like it's too blunt and it's too huge, your bangs are too huge, all you have to do is get your thinning scissors, grab it like right here, and then just like kind of like pull it down, and then see like it thins out the hair, but it doesn't actually like cut your hair, just thins it out. And I always like kind of like thin out like right here, so it could be a little bit like thinner. And yeah, and then like if you pull down your top layer, see like this part is pretty blunt, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of like thin out the end so it could be a little bit lighter and it could like merge a little bit better. So that's how it goes, and I usually don't like trim this part that much. All I do is kind of thin it out because my hair is kind of weird. So yeah, here it goes. And then the last trick is like, see these hairs? What I do is I grab them and then I twirl, and then with like the shears, what I do is I like slightly, very very slightly, just kind of like touch on them. So this way, like it kind of thins out, but it's not that obvious. And once like the twirl like loosens, it'll be like, it'll be more natural, and it'll just like flow into your hair. And all you have to do is like really like, it's just like a work in progress. Like just pull your hair down and see like if it matches or not. And if you feel like this part is too thick, just like grab it and then like try to like thin it out with the thinning scissors so it could like kind of merge into your hair. See how it like merges into my hair? And that's how I do it. And then yeah, I leave it like this for a couple more months. It's not like major trimming. All you do is remember to like grab like whatever you need and put your fingers where you want the length to be. And then like when you cut, so you could like cut all the way up to like your fingers, and then that way like you won't have to like cut like straight and then like make the length you want, but actually it's just gonna thin out the ends, so it will look like your hair is like at where you want it to be, but yet it's gonna be a little bit longer, which will give you a little bit more natural look. So alright, I hope this helped. I know I kind of like zoomed by. If you guys have any more questions, please let me know. Bye guys!